Hey there, let's do some full glam today for a photo shoot. First things first, I start with my e.l.f. Power Grip. Okay, now that my primer is all nice and tacky, I'm going with the Haus Labs foundation. This is in the shade BC4. I do like 2 pumps and I always focus it like in the center of my face. Wherever you need the most coverage first is where you should kind of place a majority of it. This is what one layer looks like. Since I am doing a photo shoot thing and I'll be on camera today, I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more and tap it over those areas where I have blemishes or discoloration that I just want like a little bit more. I still have some pretty stubborn little blemishes like around right here and stuff that I wanted just a little more coverage. So I'll go in with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Light 2.3 Madeline. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where my base is at right now. So let's go in and add some color. I always cream contour with the LYS contour stick. This guy is in Harmony. To blend this out, I always use like a little flat top brush. This is from Sonia Kashuk, just like the Target line. And then I'll just stamp that into my cheekbones in an upward motion. After I've done all that, I go in and do just a few little touch-ups. So I'll do like my chin, my nose, and then I also do my eyelids just for like a little depth and base before I do eyeshadow later on. Okay, now that I've got all of my cream contour going, I will do Tarte Shape Tape. I live and die by this stuff. I have since middle school. This is the color 16N Fair Light Neutral, and I like to do like a little bit of a blob down here and on the other side as well. And then I'll leave that middle part open and then swipe it out on the ends. Okay, I've let it dry down for like a minute or so. I feel like it just adds more coverage. Just tap that out in like a downward motion, also sharpening up the sides of my nose contour with that concealer. And then I will also just, again, drag it out, still maintaining that nice sharp line. Also making sure to bring it into the inner corners of your eyes. I feel like it really brightens it up. For blush, I mix it up a lot, but today I want to do like a very pinky kind of nude look just all over. So I'm gonna start with this Anastasia Beverly Hills cream blush, and this is in Guava, just like that on my cheeks. And then I'm gonna blend this out, and then I'll see how I like it, and I will probably add more afterwards. And I'm just balancing that out with my beauty blender, again still in that upward motion, and really just maintaining that nice contour look and foundation that we built earlier. This is the Bosma cream blush in Bubblegum Pink, and actually I have the brush that goes with it, so it's just like a little stamping brush, and I'll just get in there and we'll stamp that down. Here's an up close of how all of the cream is sitting. It's super, super glowy right now, but it's a great foundation for all of the powder that I'm gonna put on later. I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty little loose powder. This is Pound Cake, and I'll just do like a pretty rough set. I'm just taking this on a powder puff and doing underneath my eyes so they don't crease in the meantime. And I'll just basically focus it on like the T-zone right now because I'm gonna go back later and add a lot more powder. I'm gonna do my bronzer. This is the Physicians Formula bronzer in Deep. I love this stuff. I always have. It's such a good little drugstore find. I'm just gonna go in, do my cheekbones, obviously do my forehead, kind of the same places that I put that cream contour earlier. Another great drugstore option are these Milani blushes. Love these so bad. I'm gonna do 14 Petal Primavera today. I'm gonna tap into that just with a big fluffy brush and then tap back over those cheekbones, just going over where we went earlier. So I have that laid down. I feel like you can't really see it, but it looks so pretty in person. Maybe my light is like washing me out because I look very bronzy and blushy in the mirror. I'm gonna layer with my One Size. This is like one of the little 3D duos. I'm gonna do like this middle one and then just dust over for a little more vibrancy. So I'm gonna go back in and bake with that same Huda Beauty powder, and I'm gonna do underneath my cheekbones to sharpen that up, and then I'll also do my eyes, and I'll show you how. Just dragging that underneath the cheekbone. I use a powder puff, but you can also use your beauty blender too. It works just about the same. And then I'll just dip back in and go down the sides of my nose like that to kind of sharpen up the like bronzer and everything we did earlier. And then I'll just drag it underneath the eye and outwards in the same shape as what we did for our concealer. At this point, you might look a little crazy, but don't fear. It's all gonna set up and look really nice when we're done. And this is not, I'm sorry, this is not supposed to be a natural makeup look. I'm doing full glam today. Now I'm gonna do my eyebrows while this all bakes and sets. So I just brush them out and then I'll fill them in with this Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. And I just use this little chocolate brown color on a little eyebrow brush. I do have a more in-depth eyebrow routine posted if you wanted to know exactly step by step how I do them, but essentially I just fill them in with this powder. I'll make sure to blend them out in the front so they're not super, super dark. And then I just gel them up, and I will get to that in a sec, but let me focus in on this and I'll come back with brows. I have my eyebrows all filled in. Yes, I like to fill them in darker than they are naturally. Personal preference, do whatever you want to do. Here's them up close so you can see I feather them out like towards that front end of my brow just to keep things a little more like blended out. And then I'll go in and I will gel them up. I just use this Patrick Ta brow lamination gel. Okay, now that I have my eyebrows done, we're gonna do some eyeshadow. Again, just going in with my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. And I'm gonna dip into this lightest brown on the very corner and just take that on a fluffy brush all over my lid, kind of focusing on that outer corner and the crease. Now that I have like a good foundation laid down, I'm gonna go with just a step down from that, just like a little bit deeper. And I will deepen up that outer corner. So just again, kind of doing the same thing, but in smaller motion. So just focusing on that outer corner, winging it out a little bit and just following that line that we've created with the bake. I'm actually gonna tap in with a little bit more of my NARS concealer just on a flat brush and do that on my lid to clean it up before I put like a lighter kind of shimmery color. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't look amazing right now, but that's why we go back and just blend out and soften up those edges again. Okay, so as you can see, it's a lot more blended out now. I'm just gonna go back with that same brush that I used for the concealer and then tap into this super light kind of like creamy white color and just set that down on the lid. You can keep it like this. It looks super nice and just like a good, fresh and natural little smoky eye. I love sparkles, so I'm gonna do this Patrick Ta duo and Talk to My Team. I'm only gonna use that top one that's like champagne-y, pat that on my lid, and then again doing the same thing. I'm just going back and blending it out till I feel like it looks nice and blended. I also love doing like a powder eyeliner, so I'm gonna go back in with the same color that I used for my brows, my same brow brush, and then also do like a little baby wing on the outside corners. So now that I have my eyes all done, I'm gonna just do underneath to kind of bring all of that color under my eyes. Just use the darkest color that I did on that outer corner and just smudge my lower lash line. Here's a nice up close look at that eye look. Now it is time to wipe away all of our bake. I'm just gonna use this little powder brush, and if I'm still feeling like a little too glowy, I will go in with this Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder and use that to brush away that bake. Now is the time that I will just reevaluate. So I'll go back in with like more layers of bronzer, more layers of blush, just to make sure everything is nice and vibrant. After a few more layers, here's a close-up look at all of my face base. At this point is when I go in with my highlighter. I like Cookie by Benefit, and I'll just dust it on like my tops of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, the top of my lip, and then sometimes the temples of my forehead. We'll just take that same highlighter on like a little pencil brush and do my inner corners and then also underneath my brow bone. I am literally all done. That's basically the gist of it. I just have to do eyelashes and lips. So we'll do that in a second. I just curl with my Shiseido lash curler, and I've been using this Tarte XL mascara. So I have a layer of mascara on, and I'm gonna do strip lashes. Sometimes I'll do like clusters underneath my eyes, but I just bought these Kiss lashes in Nude Blazer, and I wanna try them. So I'm gonna try and put this on, and then I'll come back when it's all done and kind of add a little bit more mascara to make everything blend. I just finished up with those eyelashes. They are so gorgeous. I love them. I just went over and like blended them with a little bit more mascara and then added some more on my bottom lashes. Now let's do this lip combo. My go-to recently has been the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat, and I think this is Iconic Nude. and I will just go in, and I slightly overline, especially on my top lip. I just prefer the way it looks. So I will do that, and then I'll be back and do some gloss. I have that lip liner on. Again, here's like a nice up close look at everything we have. And then I will usually just go over with the Fenty Beauty Gloss. This is Fussy. I love this one because it's a little sparkly. It's pink, but it goes along with like that still very nude, beautiful liner that we just did. So I'll load up on that. And then my very last step of every makeup routine is the One Size setting spray. It will literally lock everything in for hours and hours, for days if you want it to. I can't recommend this stuff enough. So this is the full look, and then I will take you guys out to the like natural light so you can kind of see what it looks like when I'm not in this bathroom lighting. Ignore my hair in curlers, I'm gonna brush it out, but here is it in natural lighting. You can see like the color a little bit better than in my bathroom, but I think it turned out so good. Okay, full glam look. Hair is finally down. You can see it in the natural light and it looks so beautiful. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So I hope you guys love it.